I'm not gonna lie, I did not see Yuki showing up at all. Like she was probably one of the characters so far back in my mind of the idea of arriving that I didn't even contemplate it. Like we had Yuta mentioned this arc, so I was like, oh, Yuta showing up would be probably the move. But I would have guessed at this point they would have been more trying to flee rather than trying to fight Kamo. Like it's a really weird twist, but I like it just because she's a character we know is a big deal, but we haven't seen really anything of her. We know that she has that weird. I don't even know what I would really call that creature. Like we see it in the chapter, it's like a weird kite worm thingy. It's very odd, but like the chapter itself was really good. I also really like seeing Uraume, what exactly her abilities was or were. And the ice power was really cool. I didn't have any idea of what she was gonna be like. So her getting something obviously as standard, like I don't want to say standard or basic, but kind of straightforward as ice. But in a way, I think that it is really cool. She's like blowing it, like just like the frost dust, and then it just freezes massively over these people. I thought that was really sick, but it makes sense why she's powerful. Like we knew that she had to be powerful. Like anybody who had her when she, anyone who believed that she would be weak after seeing that she is on a on Sukuna's list. Like Sukuna knows her by name and clearly has some form of relationship with her, that he doesn't just kill her. Like that he has some form of degree of I don't want to know if it'd be respect, but liking of her. It's weird because we don't really know anything about these two characters' relationship so far, but it has to be at least to the point where she has like a high level position, and I'm guessing she's a curse as well. Like it's just safe to assume. I don't think it's ever stated. Like I don't know if there's anybody who calls her a curse or a human. I don't remember off the top of my head. So if you remember any part where somebody calls her either a curse or human, please tell me, because I hadn't paid much attention to her until Sukuna mentioned her name. And if she is a curse, because she has like the ice on her finger, so I would be willing to guess that she is a curse too. And plus, if she knows Sukuna, then she has to be extremely high grade. She has to be a special grade, but like a deep in special grade, given the fact that she's very human looking. And if she's as old enough to have known Sukuna in, what was it, 1,000 years prior, it wouldn't surprise me if she's above Jogo. Like if she in reality could have just clapped Jogo in a fight. But that's still like a question, unsure right now because she's very little known. Her match against Choso though does tell me, because Choso's blood attacks, if she's able to freeze his blood, I think that's like off the top of my head, that means her ice is in, it's like negative 40 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I think I don't know the exact temperature, but it's a good chunk in the negatives. So that alone is already impressive as well. But Choso though to me is the most confusing character right now, just from the story standpoint. Because like Yuki showing up does make sense. Or Ume showing up to help Kamo makes sense because we know that there's some form of alliance with them. She seems to want to get Sukuna back. So those two parts, I'm like, okay, yeah. As much of a surprise as those were, and actually, I really thought, oh my god, I can't remember her name. The girl with the broom. I always have like a big trouble with some of the smaller characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, because they're people that don't show up very often, and the author is fine killing off smaller characters, so they don't stick in my brain as much. It's kind of like with Kimetsu no Yaiba, just because I know not to get attached to too many people, but at the same time, like I thought she was gonna die when she was trying to get in there. I'm like, she stands no chance against these people. But they were all luckily saved by Yuki, and I thought that was just a really cool, hype moment for her to show up in general. But Choso, I don't really know like what the plan is with Choso, because like I said, like Uraume and Yuki were both things that are logical, made sense, and they both can play out pretty easily. Like they can, both sides can either keep fighting or back away, and then go back to whatever their next step is. Like, okay, what are they gonna do? Either for or about Satoru Gojo inside of the prison realm. But Choso like sees Yuji as a brother, and it's I don't think it's been like really delved too much into of like his weird ability to like put memories that didn't happen into people's heads, because we saw that with Toto. We obviously see that with Choso, but is he going to become an ally? It's really weird because with the curses of the series, they are at their core vile towards humanity. It's not like when you have a demon or some form of monster in another series, but some of them are actually more human or good. But you have the curses in this series, and they're way more vicious. They don't care about people. They don't have moral standards towards humanity or any of that. They have a friendliness towards other curses sometimes, but towards humans, it's clearly not even remotely within range. And Choso is like an odd exception because of the way he thinks and operates, and because of what happened with Yuji's ability. And in the normal case, I'd be like, oh, well, he'll become an ally. But at the same time, I'm like, could he even really become an ally? Because he killed a lot of people in this arc. It's not like he did like a bad thing or he was a henchman and helped some bad people and then it was like, oh, I learned that it was wrong or whatever. He killed a lot of innocent civilians. Like, he chopped up people's faces and tore off their limbs with some of his attacks. It'd be really weird to give him like a spot like they would make him an ally. Like, I could kind of see it as like kind of like in Black Clover, you have some of the elves that, it could be like a Suicide Squad thing, where it's like, oh, you can be on our team, but we don't trust you, and they keep them kind of like secured. Not the best example, because I was like, oh wait, the elves left. I completely forgot about this. Like, no, they didn't keep him. Those guys got the fuck out of there. So Choso, I don't know. Choso right now, he is the weirdest character story wise to me, because I don't know what the plan is with him. He can't join the main cast, because why would they want to have this dude who murdered a bunch of innocent civilians just hanging around with them? And it's not like he was mind controlled. It's not like he was tricked. It's not like he was, in some form of weird angle that justifies what he did or gives him really as much of a redemption arc, because he was just doing it. Like, they didn't have to kill any of those people. They just were doing it to like fuck with Satoru Gojo. Like, I don't know. That to me is the biggest question mark moving forward. Because like I said, I can make guesses at what the deal is with Kama. Like, okay, well, Kama will be the big villain until Sukuna gets out. Okay, what's going to go on with Rome? Okay, she's going to be aiding him and getting out Sukuna. Okay, the main cast is going to be trying to figure out a way to either get the cube for Satoru Gojo, or if they manage to get it out of this arc, the plan will be to figure out how to open it and get him back. No idea what's up with Choso. I have absolutely no idea what the plan is with him. He's a very weird like decision for the writer to do with the story. Like, I don't really know what Akutami has scheming for him. I don't know. Like, I can see him dying this arc, but at the same time, like, it's even kind of going out and maybe becoming like his own independent faction. But I don't really think the series needs another guy to show up and help Yuji like Toto does. Like, that's Toto's thing. I'm kind of, as much as I like Choso's design and I think he's a really interesting character, I feel like he has to get killed off this arc. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Because if it was something like Chainsaw Man, where like the devils, if they die, the concept of them will, make a new devil eventually, but they don't retain the memories and aspects of their previous life. They don't become back. They don't start the exact same. It's like they start at level 1 again. It's, if you had like kind of like in Digimon, you could have like this really high level Digimon that has like all this knowledge and stuff that it's done throughout its life that kind of gives its own personality and stuff, and then something happens and it goes back to an egg and it just restarts at the core level. I don't remember what the is it rookie or a baby level Digimon? I don't remember what the lowest tier is, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, yeah, it's sort of the guy, but at the same time they've lost all of the characteristics and aspects that make them who they are. They only start with whatever their core fundamental just kind of traits are. But yeah, really interested in what's next, because this arc, I think throughout it, for the most part, was I could make a guess at things that were going on through Like, I don't do Jujutsu Kaisen predicting videos, but for the most part, there are parts that I think I could have predicted, like Sukuna going on a rampage and whatnot. You know, a bunch of characters getting knocked down, some lesser characters dying. Nanami, I definitely wouldn't have predicted dying at all. That I didn't see coming at all. But Yuki showing up and not Yuta was definitely like a big plot twist. So I'm wondering what her exact like goals are going to be here, and her exact way that she's going to dispense here, because we know that this isn't actually Geto that she's talking to. It's Kamo inside of his body. So what her next move is going to be, I think, is just going to be really hype in general. But anyway, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, befriend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed. I thank you all for listening. Bye.